everyone. I just wanted to come on really quickly to update you on the tariff developments, and it's all about the money, and that's why we have the dollars in the background. Welcome to another video of Customs Manager. Today, no question, because the question was already asked and already answered. What happens to the tariff? Please check the previous video that I've just made. But this is really an explainer because we're on the 4th of March and it now happened. We have tariffs on Canada, Mexico, China, 25 and 10%. And so this is an explainer video to help you understand and make sense of this. So we expect more than 75 billion US dollars to be impacted by the measures US President Trump carried through, 25% on most Mexican and Canadian goods, and an additional 10% on Chinese imports. The official announcement was made on the 3rd of March, and I have written a blog entry, and I have linked this blog entry down below so that you can download the official announcement, and this is where you will find all the details in the Federal Register. So we're going to answer a few questions that are on everybody's mind, but in a nutshell, the key points to remember. Immediate impact. These duties apply as of the 4th of March, so that is today, meaning that you need to be quick to figure out what you're going to do now. The USMCA, the second point, so the trade agreement between North American countries, Canada, US, Mexico, does not apply in most cases. So that does not offer relief. Foreign trade zone changes. The requirement for privileged foreign status means affected goods cannot benefit from duty deferral, or a reduction in the FTZ. There may be potential exemptions. Some goods, particularly humanitarian items under Chapter 98, may be subject to exclusion. So please check that out. Duty-free de minimis. On March the 2nd, the president announced that duty-free de minimis treatment under 19 U.S.C. 1321 remains available from both countries, and the announcement is also linked in the blog entry that I've indicated in the description. If you want the full details of the measures announced, please see CSMS 642947449. I repeat, 642974449. There's an official notice in the cargo system messaging system, and you should check that out. What industry will be most affected by the new tariffs? So the tariffs in Mexico and Canada include a 25% rate on most imports, with a lower 10% tax on Canadian energy products like oil and electricity. The tariffs are expected to impact several sectors, including agriculture, automotive industry, and manufacturing. What are the retaliatory tariffs that have been announced? So Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that Canada has allocated over $1 billion to enhance border security, assessing and asserting that there is no fentanyl crisis at the US-Canada border. As a response, therefore, to these tariffs, Trudeau has declared that Ottawa, so the state most affected by these tariffs, will immediately implement the 25% tariffs on 30 billion Canadian dollars, so 20.7 billion US dollars worth of US imports. The full list and the United States surtax order from Canada of the products, full list of products, and the law can be downloaded on the link below. So we are talking now about products such as agriculture, steel, aluminium, consumer goods. All of that happens, the result of which clearly supply chain disruptions and clearly the drive for Canadian products to be used rather than American use. So let's talk of a boycott against American products. The Mexican retaliatory tariffs at this time of this recording were not yet announced. So we're moving straight into the Chinese retaliatory measures. We have a 15% on key grains and poultry. So chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton face higher costs for Chinese importers. And of course, that could shift the demand to alternative suppliers. Then we have 10% tariffs on high-value agri-products, soybeans, pork, beef, seafood, fruit, vegetables, and dairy. So we have the full list of every HS code and the products on that blog entry. So please check that out, plus the official announcement of the State Council Tariff Commission that you can also see. Plus, you can download the Annex 1 and Annex 2 of this announcement. That is the product subject to 15% additional tariff or 10% additional tariff. That is in Chinese though. So what is the impact on the US consumers and the business impact on these tariffs? Look, the Peterson Institute of International Economics, a think tank, claims that enacting a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico and a 10% tariff on China would represent the largest tax increase in at least a generation, possibly costing the average US household over $1,200 per year. The overall impact of these tariffs could therefore cost US consumers between $120 billion and $225 billion US dollars annually for the tariffs on Mexico and Canada, and up to $25 billion for the additional tariffs on China. So these actions could lead to higher consumer prices and slower economic growth, creating a challenge for the president, who campaigned on lower inflation. However, he is determined to carry through with the next step of escalation, which would be reciprocal tariffs, which would be adjusted according to the tariffs imposed by other countries. So we are spiraling this. Canada announces tariffs, the US counters these tariffs, and then again counter, until in the end all the borders are closed and nobody can trade anymore. So what does it mean for businesses? Well, higher operational costs due to increased tariffs, potential supply chain disruptions as businesses deal with increased costs of goods and delayed shipment, and the move to go to domestic market, buy Canadian, buy Ottawa. There might also be restrictions of maybe oil or gas coming to the United States being cut off from entering into the US. Price pressures on consumers making products less competitive in international markets, and reduced profitability and market share if businesses are unprepared and unable to manage the additional costs. So what are the strategies that you can apply to adopt to minimize the tariff-related costs? Look, there are several strategies that might be useful, but they will depend highly on your situation. So I cannot give you a blanket advice. You should, that's what I can say, schedule a call with me, because your situation may be different from the other person's situation. So go to www.customsmanager.org and book a free expert call. This is 1 hour, you and me. We will talk about your situation and what you can do. Free, no cost. So why not have a chat, right? Reach out. But overall, if we're not doing the call right now, you're just watching this and you just want to get a bit of an idea. So obviously it's time to review your supply chain, identify the affected product, and assess potential cost increases. You want to be looking at tariff mitigation options, whether it's tariff reclassification, duty drawback program, foreign trade zone solutions, although, note the caveat earlier on in the video. You want to look at alternative sourcing, diversify suppliers outside the US or maybe Canada, Mexico, as the case may be. And you want to look at compliance adjustments, maybe ensure that you can adhere to the new rules, including this new privileged foreign trade zone status for FTZ imports. As regards the tariff mitigation options, many of you are very interested. So there are country of origin rules that determine whether a product qualifies for preferential treatment. Other trade agreements such as USMCA to lower duty costs, so we might want to have a look at that. The duty drawback program might be affected. You want to seek refunds on duties for goods that are later re-exported. You want to look at valuation methods, so the strategies like first sale for export or transport pricing adjustment can reduce the duty liability. And we want to look at free trade agreement utilization if that is available, or even tariff engineering. So you modify the materials, assembly locations, or packaging to reclassify products into lower duty categories or those outside the 25 to 10%. Now, I will just conclude here to say that the tariffs are expected to cause major difficulties and for businesses, such as higher expenses, supply chain interruptions, and reduced market competitiveness. Overlooking these tariffs might lead to decreased profits and a weakened market position. Nevertheless, businesses can take proactive measures to reduce these effects, adapt to the new tariffs, and should consult customs and global trade experts such as myself by booking a call with us on customsmanager.org and /book export call. Keeping informed about these developments and effective strategies can help mitigate the risks and ensure a smoother transition. Now, I know this is a difficult time, but thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful. Again, check out the blog below for more insights. Thank you very much. And also don't forget to download all the documents I was referring to. Again, you look at that blog. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. You know this helps the algorithm and ultimately helps myself. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.